Children, welcome back to the online session of Sri Gokulam Public School, Vadagara. Good morning to everyone. How are you? Are you happy now? Are you afraid of the spread of this coronavirus? Prevention is better than cure. Okay, we have to take certain preventive measures. Then don't worry about this virus. Clear it? Okay. Now we can continue our lesson, ruling the countryside. Did you remember what did we discuss the previous class? Previous class we discussed about the different methods adopted by the East India Company for the cultivation of indigo. Mainly two methods, niche cultivation and variety cultivation. Then what is meant by niche cultivation? Okay, yes, very good. Niche cultivation means then the planters, they bought the land from zamindars or rented the lands. And what is meant by variety cultivation? Under the variety cultivation, the peasants, they did the cultivation in their own land. And the village headmen, they were forced to sign the contract. Clear it? Okay, but this also created certain troubles to the peasants. What were the troubles or what were the problems related to this? Okay, indigo that was grown in fertile soil only. Then so they exhausted, indigo plants exhausted the fertility of the soil, that causing for losing the fertility of the soil, and then peasants were not able to cultivate any other crops after the cultivation of indigo. Listen, as well as the peasants, they turned to be as debtors due to the cycle of loan. Clear it? And they didn't get good price for the products. Okay? Because of these oppressive measures, then that led to the rebellion. Today's class, we want to discuss the Blue Rebellion and after. Clear it? Okay, did you hear about the 1857 revolt or rebellion? 1857, the first war of Indian independence. Clear it? Then or the Shipahi mutiny. The details we can discuss in the next lesson. Okay, here in 1858, March 1858, the indigo peasants, they started the rebellion. How? They refused to pay the rent and they refused to grow the indigo plants. Clear? Okay, and they attacked the indigo factories, carried the swords, bows, arrows, and like that weapons they carried, and they started to attack the indigo planters. And the women, they also actively participated in this rebellion. They carried the pots, then pans, and whatever the implements they got it from the kitchen, and they also joined this fight against the indigo planters. Clear? And the workers, those who supported the planters, listen, the peasants, those who supported the planters, they were socially boycotted. Then they did not get any support from the other workers or other peasants. Clear? Next, then the Gomastas. Who were Gomastas? Gomastas, they were the paid servants of the East India Company. The planters appointed the Gomastas, and Gomastas, they gave loan to whom? To the peasants, and the peasants, they want to sell the products to the Gomastas. They were the agents between the peasants and the planters. And the Gomastas, they were beaten by the peasants. Clear? And the riots, they saw, they were not ready to continue the indigo cultivation, and they were not ready to bullied by the planters' lathiels. Lathiels means the men who carried the lathi, the strong persons appointed by the planters to attack the peasants. Please see the chart, the rebellion, Blue Rebellion. How did they organize? It was in March 1859. Okay, then the rebellion, it was started in 1859 March against the indigo planters. And how did they organize this rebellion? They carried the weapons and turned against the planters. The women also actively participated, and Gomastas were beaten, and the peasants, those who supported the planters, they were socially boycotted. Clear it? Okay, now we can discuss the next part. Why did they start the rebellion? From where did they get that much of courage to organize the rebellion? Okay, in 1859, they started the rebellion because of the oppressive system followed by the planters. Listen, the riots, they felt that they were getting more and more support from the village headman as well as from the zemindars. Listen, the village headman, they supported the peasants. They also engaged in the rebellion against whom? Rebellion against the planters. Why did they give support? Because they were forced to sign the contract. Did you remember? Under the rightist system, the village headman, they were forced to sign the contract. So, they also supported the Indigo peasants. And next, the Zemindars also. The Zemindars visited the Indigo cultivating areas, and they also encouraged the people to organize this rebellion. Why did they give support? One of the reasons, they felt the Indigo system, it was so oppressive, and the powers of the planters were growing. They were afraid of that by seeing the growing power of the Indigo planters. And the same time, the Zemindars were forced to give their land to the planters for long years. They were forced to run their lands to the planters for long years. Because of this reason, then Zemindars, they gave their support to the peasants. Clear it? And the peasants, they thought they were getting the support from the British government also. That also gave encourage or support to the peasants to organize the rebellion. The peasants, they felt they were getting the support from the government also. Okay, then now we can discuss that, the support given by the government. Why did they feel like that? Listen, then after the revolt of 1857, the British government, they didn't like to organize such like a rebellion. Listen, because then continuous rebellion or revolution that caused for reducing their power in India, weakening their power in India. So, whenever the rebellion organized after 1857, they tried to eliminate this rebellion. Clear? Okay, they tried to avoid such like situation. What did happen here? The Lieutenant Governor, J.P. Grant. Listen, the Lieutenant Governor J.P. Grant, he visited this region in 1859, and the riots felt that his visit as a symbol of giving support to the peasants. And then after that in Bursar, the magistrate Ashley Eden. Bursar, it's the district in Bengal. Ashley Eden, then he issued a notice that then hereafter the peasants, they did not want to engage in the indigo cultivation, and Queen Victoria declared no need of continuing the indigo cultivation. The Ashley Eden's, the magistrate activity that the peasants considered as a support to the riots. Understood? And then after that, by hearing the rebellion, the intellectuals from Calcutta, they reached where the indigo districts. Listen, and then they realized the misery of the peasants. They wrought the miseries of the peasants and the oppressive system followed by the planters. And the British government, they brought the military for what purpose? To protect the planters from the assassination. Listen, when there was a fought between the planters as well as the peasant that caused for the death of many planters. So what happened? The British government, they brought the military to protect the planters from assassination. And then after that, they set up an Indigo Commission to inquire about indigo system in India. Then the commission, they reported that the Indigo system was so oppressive and the peasants, they were not getting any profits from this. Clear? Understood? And the commission asked the peasants to continue the contract, whatever the contract they already made, they want to continue the contract and to continue the cultivation. Then in future, they did not want to engage in the indigo cultivation. Okay. Then next we have to discuss what were the outcomes of this rebellion. Clear? Then the indigo peasants, why did they organize the rebellion? Because they felt they were getting the support from the village headman, zamindars, as well as from the British government. So they organized the rebellion against the planters. And what were the outcomes of this rebellion? After the revolt, the production that collapsed in Bengal, indigo production collapsed in Bengal. So they shifted the production to Bihar. Clear? The indigo production they started in Bihar. The same time there was an invention of the synthetic fibers or artificial colors that also affected the indigo cultivation. But at the same time they tried to expand their business. Clear? Then in 1917 in Bihar, under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, they organized the Champaran Satyagraha. Gandhiji, he came back to India from South Africa in 1915, and then when he heard about the oppressive system following in Bihar, he supported the indigo peasants to organize a Satyagraha movement. And that was Gandhiji's first Satyagraha movement in India. The details we can learn in the next year, 10th standard, Champaran Satyagraha. I hope all of you understood this. Clear? Okay, what did we discuss now? The problems faced by the indigo peasants and what were the support they got from the British government. Why did they feel that they were getting the support from the British government? Understood? Okay, then today's class we discussed then why did they organize this movement and how did they organize this movement and what were the support they got from the British government as well as the outcomes or the results of this rebellion. Thank you. I hope all of you understood. Don't forget to complete the note. Along with this video class, I will send the questions. Please, you have to complete the notes that particular time or period itself. I hope all of you clear it, and the coming Friday we can conduct the class test. Before that, you have to complete the notes. Okay.